What's up guys, how's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw a shell from the Mario Brothers. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be using, all the supplies. First of all, I'm going to be using these two Copic markers. The reason I'm using two, there's really no reason I'm using two. I'm just using it because this one is kind of dry. They're both the same, they're just black. This is a 100, this is a 110. There's a black, special black. Copic is the brand, and I do like that brand. It's kind of expensive though. But anyways, that's what I'm using for this. I'm using a regular pencil. This is just an indigo pencil, doesn't matter. This pencil doesn't matter. I'm just using it for kind of an underlay, the tracing, you know, the kind of proportions. And I'm going to go over the colors I'm going to be using. These are really not good colored pencils. There's a bad brand. It's called Rose Art. That is the brand. I am not impressed with it in any way. So let me go through the colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using green. I'm going to be using a light green, soft peach, I believe this is lemon yellow, and then light orange. I'm going to be using those. I might add more. If I add more, I'll let you know. So let's kind of get into the whole structure of the shell. The shell looks easier than it actually is to draw. I'm going to be starting, it has an overall oval egg shape. It's like an egg on its side. So I'm going to be drawing dark here because I'm going to throw that piece of paper underneath the other piece of paper after this. And currently, you know, you have to remember that the outside, think of like a tube wrapping around the outside, you know, that outer layer of the shell, you know what I mean? That outer layer of the shell is kind of like a tube wrapping on the outside of it. So think of it that way. You know what I mean? It goes high in the front to have the head come out, and it wraps down lower on the sides. And it wraps around that corner. Actually, even looking at it now, I could push it together a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing this at this stage, really kind of messy and quick, because I'm going to throw this paper underneath. I draw darker where I need to, because that's what I want to see more of when I'm looking at the underneath. There's a hole here for the head to come out. You understand this is an empty shell. I might even fill that in for now, real quick, to just kind of indicate what I'm doing, so I can see it underneath. And also there's a hole for the arms, which is something I hardly ever see people draw. There's a whole space for the arms. Rivets along the edge, kind of going along the ways of that, of the bottom plane. It's kind of just random. I'm kind of throwing it randomly. The shape has a few hexagons on it. Kind of like they seem to have like 6 sides, but they're huge. They're overly sized. And see, that's gonna be my under sketch. This is like my starting sketch, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and because all I need is the proportions really. Take that, and I'm gonna slide this underneath the top sheet of paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my markers, and I'm gonna take the one that's kind of dying here, and I'm gonna try to. The thing is about these markers, they have 2 sides. They have a flat edge and a brush edge. I'm gonna use a flat edge, and I'm gonna see how much juice is left in this marker. So let's try it out. I'm gonna start from the inside actually this time. It's kind of dying marker. I gotta get that other one. I'm gonna use this one over here. This one's a little too, the reason I worry about this one, it's a little too juicy, you know what I mean? So it kind of bleeds on the paper if I leave it, if I hesitate, it'll let out this little blotch, do you know what I'm saying? So the key to do that is to kind of not do that. Just go steady, you don't have to rush, but just go steady. Oops. You know, you're gonna have to take a chance, you know what I mean, at doing it wrong. Same thing over here on this side. I'm doing all the lines are actually pretty thin for the what I'm normally doing, but you'll see what I'll do in a minute here. Closing the level below, ignoring kind of the holes that are, like, the holes for the head and stuff. Not anymore, Now I'm going into it. Alright, have that. I'm going to fill those in, actually. I'm going to fill that in with the other side of the marker, though. With this side, this flat side, I'm going to fill that in, because it's the hole for the arm. And just go quick. It doesn't matter how you stroke this one right here. Just make sure it's moist enough, and you're just kind of throwing down a layer there. Kind of like paint. If you're painting like your house wall, just boom, throw it down. And I'm going to go with thin side again, and I'm going to put these lines in over here. They're directional. They're kind of wrapping around the form. Remember, it is cylindrical. Even toward the bottom, it's cylindrical. And I'm going to put the pattern up here that I decided on. When I really decided, it's pretty much there. It's more like hexagons, or what do you call something with, I think, 6 sides? I don't know what shape that is. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I don't know what a 6-sided shape is. There's hexagon, octagon, and I don't really know what else. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thicken the outside contour line. You know what I mean? That it just gives it a better look. And I'm gonna go with a flat edge of my marker here. And I'm gonna not be shy about this. So let's see. Be careful. Trying to get it as, balanced as I can get. Trying to keep that line around the same thickness as the rest of it. Trying as close as I can, at least. It's hard, because you're not a machine, and this isn't one of those mediums that you could just kind of... So yeah, I over-traced it there. This isn't one of those mediums that you can kind of go back and fix up or paint over. You can kind of... Well, I guess you can kind of paint over. I've seen people paint over with gouache if they make a mistake, but... Do you see how much nicer that looks with that thick line outside of it? I mean, I think it does, You don't have to. But, I do. So, the next thing... I might repair the line. See, I'll go with the thin side again, and I might repair the edge of the line here. Just be really careful about that. Just little touches, little reparations here. Little repairing stuff. Okay, so I want to make it green. Green's kind of the color of the shell. I might actually let this dry a tiny bit, to be honest. I lay down a ton of marker. So while I'm letting it dry, let me sharpen my pencil here real quick. I am actually going to start with the light green. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to leave kind of a barrier. I want it to have a little bit of a glow, like some other light source is hitting it. So what I want to do is I'm going to leave... Oops. Pencil's breaking pretty quick. I want to leave... See that bar right there? Like other light is hitting it. I feel it looks pretty good in animation. So I just kind of adopted that. It's more of a style thing, you don't have to explain it a whole lot. It's almost like not even real rim light, It's a very different thing. And I'm going to do it all over the shell. I am going to have to speed this part up because this is going to be the boring part. So I'll see you after the speed up. Okay, so I'm trying to go over it pretty darkly. You know what I mean? I'm trying to really dig in there with this thing. It's almost hurting my hand. I think one of the reasons for that is that this particular colored pencil, it's not a good brand. They don't go down that well at all. So I have to push down a lot harder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the regular green. That was a light green before. And I'm going to go along the edge here. And I'm going to try to darken that edge so that it kind of has like a light source toward the center or the top. And it kind of gets darker around the edges a little bit. Let me try that out. I'm going to go along the edges here of the pattern. And I'm going to make it look like that has, you know, kind of like a little bit of a three-dimensionality to it by kind of tracing that part out. So I'm gonna go down like that. I think that does a decent amount. It's real tiny. You know what I mean? It's hard to see through camera, to be honest. But that's I kind of like that effect. Just go along the edges, just kind of separate it out, so it doesn't look like it's all one flat shape. You know what I mean? All right. And if you really want, you can go with a black. I didn't show you the black yet. The black color pencil. One second. Go with a black, and then also do that if you want a really dark edge. I don't know if it really goes with it though. It could. Anywho, but I am going to use the black anyway. I should have told you guys that. I'm going to use the black because I'm going to put a little bit of edge here. This is a white color. You know what I mean? So I want to put a little bit of an edge, almost like some style, like it's getting some sort of dark pattern on the shell. I'll put it along the rim too. Trying to make it soft too. You know what I mean? By soft and hard, I mean like, look, this is a hard shape, right? Hard. See how hard it is? I'm going on the tip of my pencil. But soft would be like I'm going on the side of my pencil. See? And it kind of softens out. So it's like hard and soft. And there is a medium. A medium would be like in between those. There's varying degrees between the really hard and the soft. Really soft. There are varying degrees of hardness and soft. And I don't think they're really called anything. It's just something that you're feeling out. You know what I mean? You got to practice and kind of figure out where those shapes go and where, you know, because when you see reality, I mean, obviously this is based off a real shell, right? But it's a cartoonized shell. You are essentially stylizing reality. You know, there's a lot of decision making. So I'm gonna go down to the bottom, and what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Let me grab this right here. I might actually only use one color. I'm going to use this light orange, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly color it all, just lightly first, because I realize how not very dark it is. I was looking at I remember playing Mario recently, and I was like, no, you know what, it's not that dark. You know, sometimes I almost have like this beige color, you know. I'm going to go very light over it, and I don't even really need to keep in the lines because this is a black marker. And then along the edge, around the bottom edge, that's where I'm going to push down a bit harder. Push down harder toward the edge here. Same thing, leaving kind of a rim. Even though the rim itself is really kind of already been colored a bit. All right, and I kind of like that, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like that. I'm gonna do one more thing though. I'm gonna actually grab this this black, and I'm gonna go right here as on the bottom of the rim of the outside of the shell. That rim part, I want to make it seem like it's casting a shadow onto that lower portion there. So I'm gonna go along the whole thing and make a bit of a cast shadow here. Oh yeah, by the way, somebody asked about this. Somebody said to draw Luigi. I will draw Luigi next. I will draw Mario and the whole cast. I mean, I think I already drawn Mario, but I haven't colored Mario. I'm going to do color versions of all these characters. I'm going to draw pretty much every Nintendo property is next. You know, in between, I'm gonna have a few critiques and stuff like that and some questions. So, you know, please stay tuned. I'm going to show a lot more of this stuff. I want to do a lot more color, too. I'm actually having a lot of fun doing color. So, you know, I hope you guys like it. I'm going to start doing a lot more color now. Anyways, one last finishing touch. If you want, well, let's put it on the ground, because I know these things you would slide them along the ground, right? So for the ground plane, I would just grab this, and again, using the soft, using the side, right? Not the edge, the side. See, soft. So get kind of a cast, slow, you know, that kind of shadow on the floor, so that it looks grounded. You know what I mean? It actually looks like it's touching the ground. Sometimes it's better to do that than to have it just floating on the page. You know, sometimes it's better for presentation's sake. Anyways, guys, that's about it for the shell. Let me show you the tools that I used. I'm not going to show you that yellow because I didn't use that yellow. Didn't use any of the peaches. What I ended up using was the black, the green, the light green, and the light orange. And I ended up using a Copic marker. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to have a whole lot more Nintendo stuff. Please link, you know, share this on Facebook, guys. I'm trying to, you know, become a bigger channel. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. You guys have been super nice. I mean, some of you guys in the comments are super nice. Like, I almost feel like, whoa. Like, I almost don't know what to do. You guys are really, really cool. Like, you're really nice. And cool. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later and I'll see you soon.